Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Ethereum, heading home. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, many of you are extremely familiar with the widely used and very accurate house TA. In my opinion, it's probably the only TA that I use to actually try to predict short-term moves in the market. Now, all kidding aside, momentum is really what you're relying on here. Momentum in the market, and the idea is that anything trending higher, an asset trending higher, is more likely to continue trending higher than an asset that's not. Therefore, at key areas of resistance, you have these houses pop up, okay? And when these houses pop up, you have to respect them and recognize that eventually we should make it there. Eventually, we will make it there. It's just a matter of time. Now, sometimes we go in through the garage, okay? And sometimes we go in through the front door. But ultimately speaking, we do make it there, okay? We do make it there. So we look at this and we just say, well, it looks like Ethereum, after a very long time of getting rejected at this $4,000 level, the $4,400 level, it seems like we are in the process of heading home. Okay, we should eventually be able to break through into a $5,000 Ether. The only thing that is keeping us from doing so is time. This is the only thing I believe that is keeping us from breaking in to this new paradigm shift in what it means to hold one Ether. Okay. Now, with that said, we do know it is fully dependent on what Bitcoin does. And we cannot stress that enough. We know that if Bitcoin pulls back, it's always possible that Ethereum gets another pullback and then maybe heads into the front door. Maybe no one was home when they ring on the doorbell to the garage, if there is a doorbell, and they go in through the front door. If that happens, then of course it could be delayed a couple of months. It all depends ultimately on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin is able to trend higher in the short term and go to 70, 80K, it's highly likely that Ethereum is right there with it, at least pushing past its prior barrier. Okay, so that is what we want to keep an eye on. The reason why we are speculating that we are going to be heading home somewhat soon is by looking at prior patterns in the market. We've said all along that the market cycle is not over. And for a long time, we were not proven right on that until a few weeks ago, or maybe just a week ago or so, when Bitcoin put in a new all-time high. All right. So let's look again at phases similar to the one that we're currently in. We've seen these before, right? We've seen these before. And ultimately speaking, we've always found our way home. Okay, here's another example. Now, unfortunately, in this example, we actually got rejected. Again, right? We got rejected and we ended up having a 50% correction, but we still made it out the other side not that long later. If we line it up like this, you can see that on the third attempt, we didn't even make it back up to the top. We got rejected all the way back down, and then we ended up going up higher. This would sort of be like worst case scenario, I think, for Ethereum. Would be one more major rejection followed by a final, maybe not a final move, but a move to the upside by Ethereum. Okay, I certainly don't think we're about to go up to these levels up here. I'm just sort of showing you what happened in the past when we finally broke through. Now, the other phase is right here where we made this nice move up, and then we consolidated for about half a year. Right, so we've seen this one as well. If we overlay it, you can see the similarities there. And actually, I mean, when you look at this, when you look at the, that first move to the upside, then back down, this second move came quicker than this one, but we're sort of right on track at the current time. Are we going to continue following it in the short term? Probably not exactly. Okay, probably not exactly. I would anticipate something being a little bit different. Remember, every cycle is going to be slightly different. Now, if you look at these, remember, this one took about a year. Okay, this one took about a year from when we first got up here to when we finally broke through. This one took about half a year. In the current consolidation phase, we are now at about half a year. All right. So what does that mean? Well, I wish I had a crystal ball. I really do. I wish I could tell you when we're going to break through, but I would say it's highly likely that we break through anytime between now and March, right? Pretty easy to say something like that. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that statement. If I had to guess, we'll probably break through well before March. Probably this year, right? Probably this year we'll probably break through it. I don't think we're necessarily going to see an Ethereum tsunami this year. And again, I know a lot of people like those. And if you haven't experienced one of those, remember, hold on to your hats, because when they come, they just sweep everything else away. I do think we're going to get another Ethereum tsunami in 2022. Until then, we're just sort of, we're sort of just playing in the sandbox, right? I mean, this isn't even the game, as I've said before. We're talking about practice right now. We're not even at new highs, right? We're not even trending higher. We're not putting in new highs. We're not even above $4,400. Again, this is more akin to practice and getting prepared for the game that will ultimately come later. And in order to do that, we need to make it into our house. Okay, we need to make it into our house. Now, to get to our house, we're looking at this right now, and best case scenario, we just head on home. We head on home right now, and we get comfy there. All right, that would be best case scenario. In my opinion, worst case scenario, we get rejected, and then we come in, a few weeks later, or a couple months later or something. But I do think Ethereum will ultimately make it there, and I do think time is on its side. It's just a matter of time. Now, you might look at this and say, well, Ben, why in the world do you think it's just going to go into the house? Like, shouldn't it go higher? Well, again, that's what the chimney is for, right? The chimney gives a passage to higher prices. So you have to keep that in mind. But again, all kidding aside, when we talk about, technical analysis and whatnot, I see all sorts of people drawing lines and whatnot and giving reasons why the market has to crash or giving reasons why the market has to go parabolic, and they've been doing it for the last 6 months. And both sides have been wrong, right? Both sides have been wrong, whether you were calling for parabolic rises for the last 6 months or whether you were calling for a crash back to $300 for the last 6 months. Ethereum hasn't done anything in the last 6 months. I mean, it went to 2K or maybe less, but it's still, we're still at the same prices. And this is what crypto investors aren't here for 2x gains, right? We're not here to see it go up and get range bound between 2 to 4K. This is not why we're here. It's not why I'm here. I guess I don't know why you're here. This is not why we're here. We want to actually see it break out to the upside. So really, both sides have been more or less wrong over the last 6 months. But I told you guys back in May, we needed to calm down for a while. We needed a summer lull. And typically speaking, even going into Q4, we lag behind Bitcoin. Fortunately, so far, this Q4, Ethereum is holding up exceptionally well against Bitcoin. Now, there are 2 months left, so let's not get too carried away on that. But so far, Ethereum is holding its own against Bitcoin, at least in the first month. Okay, it's only down a few percentage points if you compare it to where we first started October. Now, of course, where we started September, we've lost a little bit more than that. We have seen the drop start in September before. Right now, we're down about 15-16% against Bitcoin since early September. But again, this is more or less expected with Ethereum going into the last quarter of the year. So we say this all with the idea that Ethereum is highly likely to head home soon. We've been waiting for this moment for about 6 months now. I'm speculating we are about to break it. We are in the phase where we could break it, right? We're in the phase that we could break it. Back in May, I didn't think so. And I told you guys this is not the run to get us to 10K. Not this one. This was not the run to get Ethereum to 10K. I said we need consolidation for a while, and then the next leg will get us there. The next leg has not really started, in my opinion, until we break above this level. Until we break above that level, it's still possible we continue to get rejected and then keep fighting. We will make it through, in my opinion. I do believe we will make it through. It just takes what? Time and lots of it. Okay? I want to remind you, we do have an Into the Cryptoverse, the Into the Cryptoverse set of NFTs. The ones that are not sold by the end of the month are just going to simply be burned. There were three different NFTs, of which there's multiple copies, but there's 3 different ones. One of them is sold out. The other one, there's got like 50 copies left. The other one, there's like 900 copies. So if you guys want to pick one up, make sure you guys go check it out. If you want to see what they look like, it looks something like this. Remember to turn the music down or turn the volume down on your computer or your phone so that it's not so loud. This is what it looks like. Well, there it is. There's two others as well. One of them sold out. There's one other one that's sort of like a medium tier. That one's the lowest tier one that you just saw, but there's 3 different ones. So make sure you guys check them out. I'll leave a link to all those in the description below. The artist behind those is Luke Dillon. I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description below as well if you like his artwork, and you guys can go check him out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hopefully we will head home soon enough. I do believe we'll make it there. We just need a little bit more time. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.